Here gonna show my tattoo that is magenta, electric raspberry, turquoise blue in comparison when the tattoo have is new and fresh comparable when the tattoo have healed on the skin in comparison and so on, and this kind of thing. So yeah, you can obviously see that when the tattoo is new, liquid raspberry, one from Ink Eternal, one version of magenta. That magenta, simple thing is to say is that magenta is blue and red, where you have much more red than blue, much more red than blue. So it looks, so it's, yeah, yeah. So and then you see here is you see the color is much more, it's much brighter. So here it looks much more like it's almost like it's almost like it's like pink, but pink with some drops of purple in it in some ways to make it. You still see that strawberry-ish kind of coloring. Like the name is raspberry, raspberry. So it's much more like this kind of color, and so this is the color I really like. I really like this one. I don't know. Really like it. It's like my favorite color in general is green, but and then I have to be second place, have to be turquoise blue, but on third place I have to say magenta is my favorite colors, and I really like this one. I'm so like this one. I cannot stretch this enough how much I like this color. I think is this is just my own personal opinion. I just like it. I really like it because I think it's also cool because how big differences is in some ways in comparison to this of the same color where they have different contrast when they heal and comparable when they before the tattoo have healed on the skin. I think it's very fun to do this kind of videos because then obviously you can see obviously if you do like this, we zoom in like on the head on the leopard seal is and we can zoom in on the head here, sorry, and you obviously see the difference. You obviously see that the magenta is brighter on when the tattoo have healed, and it's much darker before the tattoo have healed. It's much more in some ways dull in some strange way, but it's like much more living. Obviously you can do lots of things. The thing you can do, for example, if you want to have different contrast with the electric raspberry, always to put more red in it in some ways, or a little bit blue to make like I think, yeah. So you read, and the thing here we have done that is a bit different, sorry, is in comparison here is that we have we take sorry for that. We take a mixture of turquoise blue and Griffith green in the size. It's hard to see in some way that is some different, but if you look in some way you can see that it's a bit different in the turquoise blue in comparison up here. So down on the stomach and around the mouth is like turquoise blue with green. Yeah, so this tattoo I'm extremely happy with. I'm very happy with it, because I'm very. Also, this tattoo also give me a key in some ways to next tattoo I want to do. So I can see in some ways, I can see that you can mix turquoise blue and green together, even if turquoise blue is green, blue, and yellow and white to make turquoise blue. You can still put some more green in it, or to make a bit different. Now I know for some ways that I can have maybe more green for the next one in the turquoise blue to give it much more like a cold tone blue, much more like a bluish greenish color, but still warmer than the still warmer version of that thing. So you can do much more differences in some ways. So they give a very, I think this give also a very interesting, personally I think you give it a very interesting approach to how you want your color tattoos to look on your skin, because you maybe can have something that nobody else have in some ways, because you maybe try something that everybody think this not gonna work, why you even gonna try it, but then you try it anyway, then you try it and you see, oh nice, they're gonna look works fine on the skin. So obviously if you see here, you can see on the stomach, on when the tattoo is new, you see it's much like really darkish turquoise blue, and you see here the turquoise blue is much the turquoise blue mixed with graphic green is much more brighter, and it's give a very touch to it, but it's, you still see that it's turquoise blue. It's not enough green yet to really give a big differences. So that I want to do it for my next tattoo. I really want to try to, like, for example, for example, just we give I say, if I go to my tattoo artist, we take, like, for example, just example now, that is just my example. Don't follow anything I say right now in this video. This is just an example. Maybe I say to my tattoo artist, I want 3 drops of turquoise blue, and I want 5 drops of graphic green, and then we mix it together. Then we see, okay, maybe more green, maybe more turquoise blue, and we try it again and again in the drops. And then when I'm happy, then we start to do the tattoo, because then I can see with my own eyes, I can see how that green will look. But then you're gonna come into when the tattoo is put on the skin, then you first can see the real result of all this thing, so 3 weeks or 4 weeks later, when the tattoo have healed 100% on the skin. So I only can see one little bit of it when this tattoo start. I cannot see 100%. So now I can see 100% how the tattoo looks in comparison, because now I have them, the 2 picture side by side of my tattoo, the same tattoo, and this kind of thing. So I really see now how big difference it is with the lightness and the darkness of the new one and the healed one side by side, and this kind of thing. So and it's still, obviously it's a bit lighting of the camera, but you obviously, if you see the tattoo with your own eyes, you're gonna see a bit. It's more the healed one is much bit greener, but you can get, so that is I think that is the cool thing, that you can get so many different combination of 1 of 2 different colors. And even if the colors is mixed in some ways the same way, but this bit, for example, turquoise blue and then you have green, then you have, for example, magenta and hot pink. For example, what will happen, for example, if you mix hot pink, like pink with some more red in it, and magenta with red, much more red than but little blue together side by side, what will happen? How will the contrast be side by side? Will there be any huge differences, or any differences at all, and this kind of thing? So there's lots of things that's very fun to speculate about, because you can have something that, what I always say, like, I think so long that you are happy with the result that you get for your tattoo, that is everything that really matters. What anybody other think totally don't mean nothing, because they don't have the tattoo on the skin. So that, and this kind of, this is a simple thing to say. But anyway, so this the reason the video is that just to show the comparison side by side, and really show that how it's not is you can see the differences, and you can see you see the color clear as day, and you really see every color. You can see the turquoise blue, you can see the magenta, you can see the black, and so on. So you really see it. So I can see that this color works good on my skin with no problem, and this kind of thing. So yeah, and this kind of thing. Okay, hope you like it. That's everything I really want to say. One thing, sorry, it's one thing I forgot to say, is that obviously with the colors here is that is they obviously colors is, I think the best thing that is that if you try something, you will find out if they work or not. If you don't try, you don't gonna know. So if that is the best thing, you don't have to be a professional to understand this, but it's like if you only tattoo, for example, people with light skin, and then same time you say to somebody they this color maybe not gonna work on dark skin. You have to try it before you say it, because you can, lots of colors nowadays works amazing on people with darker skin tone. It's just that people think that it's more complicated what they have to be. Like obviously you should not use very 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 bright colors, but the cool thing here with dark skin tone, the cool thing is that the color you're gonna use, for example, lime green or magenta, or some types of different version of orange, or different types of red, and so on, and different type of orange, and different types of colors. Like most of the time, the colors that is gonna be much darker, like example, lime green gonna be much darker on light skin in comparison on lime green comparison on dark skin. So you have much more. You're still gonna have very vibrant colors if you just use the right colors, and if you use it right, it's gonna look amazing. Like, so you can see here. Obviously, I'm not have the darkest skin tone, absolutely not. I'm still darker than somebody with light skin. And if it's always different category of light skin too, different categories. Some is like almost like very very light, and you have the lightest of the lightest, the albinos. And so you really, I think that is the cool thing, that if you is the worst thing that can happen, like so long you go to professional artists, the worst thing that can happen that you have to do a touch up to the color. But the best thing that can happen, you're gonna get an amazing tattoo that you never suspect gonna be that vibrant on your skin. But I think you should listen to your artist in some ways, but in other ways you should always question them in some ways, because of they may be gonna say to you one thing because they have a specific, a very specific way what they think looks good, but they only do the tattoo, they don't have the tattoo on the skin for the rest of their life. So what they think don't really matters. They only can tell you what how the process gonna be, and how well it's gonna be in their own eye. Remember, you are the client and you are their commercial for them. For example, when they put up your tattoo on their tattoo portfolio, on their Instagram account and so on, they show this kind of thing. And I think that is amazing when you have diversity on your profile, because then you can different people see different version of skin tone and different colors and so on and so on. And that is the coolest thing with the whole thing, because the more diversity the easier with tattoo in the tattoo industry, with skin tones and tattoo styles and all this kind of thing. And everything gonna evolve much better, because they're gonna be much more upgrade. You can say, okay, the tattoo artist friend to the other one tattoo artist can say, okay, this color looks like this after some years. Okay, how can I do next time to make this color looks much more vibrant to the next client, so want to have a similar color and so on, and this kind of thing. So I think this is some ways also be a little bit the reason why I want to do this kind of videos, is to show that obviously I cannot help anybody because I'm not a tattoo artist, but I can in some little way maybe show in some ways that obviously color tattoos works good on dark skin tone. And dark skin tone means everything from light brown to on very dark skin tone. But you just have to go to professional. That is everything. You have to go, and there's one thing what they think, that, but the other thing of their experience. That when they show different picture of different skin tone, and they show different colors on their different clients with different skin tone, and they show healed work and fresh work, the new work, side by side, then you should listen more to them, because then they can really show you what really happened in some ways on the skin. But if they just tell you like this color is not gonna work and they have no picture, then you can always question them, because how can you, I don't want to say like this, but how can you trust them to say this because they want to say that to you, because they know in tattoo world you have to show picture. Words means nothing if you have nothing to back it up. You have to show pictures side by side to give the clients to feel trust, because obviously here is the problem here is that I don't know why so many different tattoo companies or different, for example, if you go into different tattoo ink brand or and so on, why is so few people with dark skin tone on their like as commercial pictures or in tattoo portfolios? I don't know why. Like we always see some tattoo artists, some do tattoos on dark skin tone that do amazing work. One, I always forget names, but you had some of them. If you go into the dark tattoo ink on dark body art, you can find amazing works there on on Instagram. You can find different very cool work. So you can see that it's totally nonsense when people say that color tattoos do not work on darker skin tone. It's totally nonsense, and it's damaging, because you give a false information in some ways to some people when you say this kind of thing. And obviously some color do not gonna heal as well in comparison with other of the same. For example, what I mean with this, with comparison, for example, you have, for example, a normal pink, for example, you have light pink comparable with red pink, for example, that is hot pink. What the name is silly. I say red pink with more red in it are much higher chance to work much better, because it's much stronger and more warmer color on darker skin tone. At the same way, for example, if you compare, for example, this comparison I can give, and I can give a 100% accurate comparison right now. If you compare, for example, turquoise blue and tropical teal, the turquoise blue is going to be much more stable on the skin. You're going to see it much clearer. You can see it's much thicker on the skin, and it's much more like there. You can really see here is turquoise blue. With tropical teal, you can still see in some ways under it. So you can okay, This is gonna be my final video. Okay, I'm gonna show my tattoo that have turquoise blue and the other tattoo that have tropical teal to show you side by side what I mean with it, what I really mean. Because, as I said before, I should not be a hypocrite to say if I don't can show it, I should. That means nothing. So now we're gonna show the turquoise blue from Ink Eternal and tropical teal from Ink Eternal on this my skin. Is my these two different tattoos. It's not the same tattoo, but they are two different versions of turquoise blue to show really the differences. So this one is turquoise blue with mixed green, liquid raspberry, one version magenta, and so on. So now we're gonna show the other one to show really what I mean with it, what I really mean with how the differences is here. Okay.